Howdy, hey, hello. We are back again with Munch and Mingle. You guys, it's going to be a good month. I am feeling the love, and we are starting off on the right foot. We are here with my dearest friend, Charle Bell.
Hello, hello. I'm like, do I say hi now?
Yes. So, can't wait for you guys to get to meet Charle. She is an amazing, incredible woman, and we're just going to dive right in, I guess, to your story and the thick of it. But before we do, we have to talk about this munchie that we have here.
So you're like, oh, we have to have a munchie. And I'm like, okay, what do I munch on? I'm like, I drink Crystal Light every day, the citrus kind. That's my fave. And then I was like, if I can let myself like just really have, a good treat. It's Chewy Nerds.
And these are like the big chewy textured ones.
It's the big Chewy Nerds.
They're never hard to find, apparently, though, until right now.
Yeah, because Valentine's Day, they ate them up.
Yeah. So we both ended up going to get one, and they're in these cute little, what is this? Baton? Is that a rod?
Yeah.
With a nerd on top. It's like a Valentine's treat.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious that we both showed up with the same thing because it's the only one we could find.
Cheers to us.
Yeah. And some Nerds gummy clusters. Nerds are just the best. They're so good.
I guess apparently this is, what I really am.
This is
nerd.
You. No, stop. Okay, well, I'll get into my story later of how we met. I want to talk about how you became who you are.
You asked me to do this like a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when anyone asks me to do anything, I overthink it for a long time. Well, I think about it. Like I like, mull things over and try and figure out. And I'm like, gosh, like, how did I get to where I am? Because right now it's just every day you're just barely functioning. I thought about it for a while and I'm like, man, there's a lot of things that taught me to be who I am, like it makes me wonder. I have 4 girls. Like, what am I doing to teach them, when they're my age, to be who they are? It's interesting. So I actually grew up in Idaho, pretty much. I lived the first 2 years of my life in New York. My dad is from the Bronx. My mom's from Brooklyn.
This explains so much. I'm just figuring this out now.
Right? Like that's a really big basis to the attitude.
Yes.
The go get 'em, no one's rolling me over attitude.
100%.
So they're from back east, and they grew up, my dad grew up very Italian. My mom grew up in an inner city neighborhood. So that was, my parenting. That's who parented me. But my dad worked on Wall Street for the first 2 years of my life and just hated it. And he ended up going into coaching. And his good friend, Gary Croton, who coached for BYU football for a while, he actually got a head coaching job at Snow College. Mm. And Gary and him were actually MTC. They worked in the MTC in the phys ed department. So he called him and was like, hey, EJ, do you want to come coach at Snow College with me? So taking this guy from, back east Manhattan to Ephraim, Utah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, he decided to come out and, give it a shot. The family life, back east was very confusing as far as like, being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and family stuff. And he just kind of felt like he wanted to raise his family out west.
Yeah.
And so he made the move and went to Ephraim, Utah and coached there for 5 years. And then he ended up going to Rick's College and coaching football and basketball.
Oh my goodness.
And so then I grew up in Rexburg, Idaho.
Okay.
So I have that, like Western influence, but like my home was the roots was East Coast, like tough love.
Yeah.
So that's where I grew up. And then when I was a junior in high school, Rick's College decided not to have athletics.
Yeah.
And so he found out when the rest of the world found out in like the same meeting that he didn't have a job anymore. And so he ended up going to BYU. Gary Croton called him again when he was the head coach. And he just was like, hey, EJ, like, I want you to come coach. My dad's like, I think I'm done coaching just because like it's a kind of a volatile profession.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't win, you die, like it's
so true.
And you move again and you move again. And, so, and he was like, well, okay. He's like, well, I'll offer you the academic football coaching job. So he was over the academics, and then he ended up being the head of the academic center for all of BYU athletics.
Oh my gosh.
But I was a junior and I played basketball. And so it was a really hard decision for me because it was the end of my junior year. And my parents said I could stay with my uncle that ended up moving west as well. But I just was like, that's kind of weird. I just want to follow my family, which, people go, how did you do that? And I was like, at first I just bawled, but then it ended up being the greatest thing that probably ever happened to me because I got to like reinvent myself and I got to just be secure with who I was. I had a year to like, make friends, be involved, be on the basketball team, and like head out high school career.
So senior year, you're coming to Provo.
So we ended up moving to Orem.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so, I was pretty bummed and pretty devastated, but I had a coach that liked to play a lot of head games. And so it was funny. I would start one game and then I would not ride the bench, and he would pit me up against other girls of similar caliber. And I ended up coming to Utah and getting like all state awards for my basketball career, and ended up getting recruited and ended up walking on the BYU basketball team. So like, it's funny how like one person's belief in you can change so many things.
Right.
And so for me, I mean, I moved to Utah where one coach saw this 6-foot girl and was like, all right, let's see what she can do kind of, and where I'm very headstrong, I was going to prove to everyone what I could be. Yeah. And it ended up being one of the best years of my life. Wow. So, yeah.
This is so great. So we talked about this, and as most of you can already tell, Charlie is this amazing light. I didn't even know half this stuff now, but I'm like, oh, this all makes sense. But I asked you this last time I saw you was how do you feel like you became this way? Now, obviously you had that upbringing, East Coast 100%, but still you've been able to have this persona, this strength, this light. And that was something we just talked about. I want you to go over. Where do you feel like, when did that start for you?
Gosh, I don't know. I was pretty quiet as a kid, but I was... maybe I'm going back and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, maybe third grade. So I ended up skipping third grade. Not because I'm brilliant, because I'm not, because I truly am not. But I ended up scoring really high on tests in first grade and second grade, and they played with the idea of me skipping. And then in third grade, the teacher was like, hey, look, like this girl is finishing everything. She's getting hundreds, and then she walks around and mothers everybody else and tells them what to do. So
we need her to move.
Yeah, get her out of here. So I ended up going to fourth grade, a year ahead of my peers. And so I never fit in fourth grade, and I never fit in third grade at that point in my life. And I think that's when it started to dawn on me that like, I've got to hold my own. Like, I am who I am. Like, sorry that I skipped, but I'm not apologizing for doing my best and being my best self.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when it kind of started, like me kind of going, all right, like I'm neither here nor there. So I've got to make a way for myself.
Wow.
So I think that's probably what kind of started me just going, I've got this.
That's
you know,
insane that you could be that young and like figure that out.
but
at
like,
that age.
you know, like, I don't know if I really knew at that time that that's what I was doing, but
some natural instinct.
yeah, I think at that point, I think I didn't like go, oh, I'm going to school and I'm just going to be it. You know what I mean? Like,
that was the first kind of like challenge though, or like,
yeah, like I had to say like, all right, well, I am who I am. Take it or leave it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So, you have 4 daughters and we'll get into that. Not only, you know, are you confident as a person, you have this confidence as a woman, and that is really hard nowadays, especially. But as a woman, there's so much pressure that I think a lot of us fall into.
So much pressure.
And we'll get into a story that, like, you know, you helped me through something. You talked about before we got on an instance in seminary. I'd love for you to share that.
I was kind of struggling in high school because, you know, I was growing into my 6 foot tall body. And, you know, it's kind of trying to control all the limbs. And like I saw my friends getting asked out and dating and getting Valentines, and you know, it just that never worked for me, you know. And you just kind of like, I wasn't mature enough to be like, oh, well, it's because I'm 6 foot and there's no guy over 5'9" in the high school. You know what I mean? Like it was, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, like, what's my problem? How am I not cute enough? Am I not happy enough? Am I not pretty enough? Like, you know, what is it? So I was kind of at that point where I was just kind of like feeling down and not understanding like why, I guess. And so I was in seminary that day, and I don't even know what the lesson was on. I don't even know who even said this, but I remember hearing it and going, oh my gosh. And it was, you were born exactly how God intended you to be for your mission here on this earth. And I was like, really? Like, he wanted me just to be 6 foot, you know, like he wanted me to have brown hair, you know, and green eyes. And like the teacher was, or the person that was speaking was like, yeah. Like, you are here exactly how you're intended to be for your mission. And I was like, for some reason, I felt so empowered by that. I felt like, wow, God made me exactly the way I was supposed to be. And I shouldn't be or try to be like anyone else. And I should own, you know, that. So I guess there's been so many instances that have really taught me to like own my worth as a daughter of God. And that means accepting all of who I am. Yeah. You know?
Oh, that is so great.
I don't know. It's just something that just has really stuck with me my whole life. And I pray that I can teach it to my 4 girls, you know, because if they can learn one thing and that's it, I mean, I would be so happy, because if you can learn to accept you were made exactly the way God made you, like, why would you ever like dispute that? Yeah. You know?
Oh, okay. We're going to get into that. Before we do, we need to talk about Jared.
Yes, Jared.
So your husband.
He's so cute. So we met. So I was actually in my junior year of college. And
You're going to BYU.
Yes, okay. I was going to BYU. And at that point in my life, I was so sick of dating crappy people. It was funny because in high school, I didn't like get asked out. But in college, it was like really cool that there were 6 foot tall girls. Like, guys liked that apparently. And I didn't know what to do with it. Honestly, I was like, I don't know how to flirt. I didn't do that in high school. I don't know what to do with this. You know,
listen to any tall girl or any girls out there. Just get through high school.
Right? No, it's the truth. That is the honest truth. So I get to college and I'm like, okay, well, oh my gosh, let's do this. So then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm not somebody's trophy wife. Just because I'm tall, obviously I was like looking for taller guys, right? But those kinds of guys sometimes were on the campus and they had egos because they played for yada yada team or whatever. I'm not going to like specify or anything like that because that's not what
it anyone.
Right. It could be anyone, but I was dating guys with egos. Let's just leave it at that. Clearly, my attitude is I'm not someone's trophy wife. I'm not just going to sit here and look pretty for you or whatever it is you want me to do. I've got my own personality and my own. So I needed an extra class for credits. And so I was like, okay, what should I take? And there's this class called Mind, Body, and Spirit Health. So I was like, all right, let's give it a whirl. So I walk in and there's like 32 girls and like 4 boys. And I'm like, all right, well, not, odds are not in my favor as if I'm going to look to date anyone, but good thing I'm not, because I literally started working at like, I was working at Down East at the time and American Eagle, and I just barely got hired on as the head BYU sport camp counselor.
Oh my.
So I was like prepared to work all summer long, 24 hours a day, because I had to be on campus 24 hours a day during the summer, and I already signed on to do that. So like, I was like, I'm good to just like ride that wave for a while. And then all of a sudden Jared is in there as well, and he's 6'6", and I didn't know his name, so I ran home to tell my roommates that there's a really hot guy in my class. And that is his name today on my phone, is Hot Guy.
Oh, that's cute. That's perfect.
Because that was the first nickname he ever got, because I didn't know his name.
Right.
So anyways, we just walked out of class together and a couple of times and talked, and he thought I was exotic. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Because I have darker skin because I'm Italian.
Okay.
And he's not used to seeing that in Utah.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, someone has literally come up to my husband and said, what ethnicity is your wife?
What did he say?
He goes, white.
You just
True
run
story.
with it at that point.
True story. It's really funny. We just like laugh because I'm like, okay, exotic and ethnicity. Like,
yeah.
I grew up in Idaho, and
I don't think we're that bubbled in Utah, but we just might
so
be.
funny.
Goodness.
Well, some people might be.
Why was Jared in the class?
He just had to take a class too.
Oh, okay.
And we both found out. We both like just randomly took it. Well, clearly it wasn't random.
No. The universe.
Yes.
God had a hand.
Yes. So we ended up walking out of class together. And then he got my number and we went on a date. Panda Express and Phantom of the Opera.
The movie?
Yeah. I'm that old. We've been married 18 years.
Wow.
We're not young bucks anymore. So, and then we hung out every night since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and then we were engaged in May.
So, wait. You started that dating when?
February.
And then engaged in May. And
married in August. Yep.
That's so good.
When you know.
I agree.
So 5 days after sports camps got over.
Because you still did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Wow.
Yeah, so we would meet up at like midnight and hang out for a little bit, and then I'd get back on campus like before they saw that I was gone.
Wow. Okay, so how was newly married life? Are you done with school at this point, or were you guys still going?
So I had a year left, and then he still had about 2 years left.
Okay.
He just got accepted in the Marriott School of Business.
Nice.
So I ended up, I went to school for that semester after we got married. And then we had a really strong prompting that we needed to move in with his parents, like 4 months after we were married. And we were like, what the heck? So we ended up moving in with them. And 3 months later, his dad passed away unexpectedly.
Oh my gosh.
So then we kind of like were there. He was there for that. And then, so 8 months after we were married, we dealt with that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
How was that?
It was hard, but like it was really hard. I think the first 5 years of our marriage was pretty hard as far as like we dealt with the loss of his father, and then we dealt with infertility. because we weren't getting pregnant on our own. And so it was just like a lot of hard, right? You know, but like we did it together, and like, that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, you know, we all have our hard, and we all have things we're going to go through. So,
right.
And those were ours. It was just really just right at the beginning of our marriage. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
So when did you get pregnant?
So 5 years after we were married,
Okay.
I ended up getting pregnant with the twins through IVF. Wow. And it was our second IVF round. So
how is that emotionally? Like, obviously getting pregnant is emotional, but then through IVF.
It's hard. I don't know, just not getting pregnant and watching everyone else get pregnant. And they could never tell us why. We were like the 1% of unexplained, they said. So it was really hard. And I think the hardest part of it is our first attempt at it failed. And so I thought, okay, we literally spent every dime we had. We, you know, exhausted this was it. This is how we were going to get pregnant, and we didn't. Luckily, we had more frozen embryos, so we transferred those over the very next month. Wow. And that's when I got pregnant with the twins.
Oh my gosh.
So that was, you know, an amazing miracle. But man, it's a roller coaster. It's hard. But I honestly wouldn't go through it any other way. Because one day I was praying to God, and I was like, why me? Like, I this is what I've wanted to be. Like, this is who I've wanted to be. I know it from in the fiber of my bones. This is what I was supposed to be, you know? And he came back with me, why not you? And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess why not me? And honestly, it's such a beautiful part of my story that I would never want to take that part of my life back ever, just because I feel like my answer from God on a lot of things now is like, why not you, Charlie? You can handle that. You know, like, clearly you're headstrong.
Wow.
So
that can sometimes feel like a lot of responsibility, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but I feel like I've made so many friends, and I feel like I've empathized with so many different people. And I feel like when I teach my lessons or I talk to people, I don't talk to a specific group that's like, life's amazing and you get to have what you want whenever you want it. I talk to those people that went through heartbreak to get what they wanted. You know what I mean? Like, I just really feel, you know, for others. And I want everyone to know that not everything turns out just exactly how you thought it would or should, or, you know. Yeah.
Isn't that the ironic part? You and I just talked about this before, is we fear trials. We fear hard times because it's like, I don't feel I'm strong enough. But oddly enough, woven into that is when you do go through it, when you are on the other side and you get to help someone, you get to be on that real side, how it's a blessing in the end.
Absolutely. And, you know, the older I get, the more I learn that every obstacle that you come over and everything that comes your way, good or bad, is just something else to progress you forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, it doesn't have to be, I don't know how to explain it. I just have learned that like bad things are typically going to turn out good in the end, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Charlie, this is so good. Okay. Sorry. The twins.
Yeah.
We got to there.
Okay. So ended up having the twins. You know, it's funny. All my girl stories are just really I just am like, wow, like that. God's hand was definitely in that. So then I ended up having the twins, and then we decided 2 years later that we would transfer another set of our embryos. And so we transferred 2 in, and they had to unthaw at that point. So they take the embryos and they unthaw them.
Okay.
And so I had 9 left, and 6 of them didn't survive unthawing.
Oh my gosh.
So then I had 3 left.
And do you have to use them right then?
So I transferred the 2 in, and it didn't work. So I was on medications for, you know, like a month or 2 before, and then they transferred it and it didn't work. So I had this one embryo left that they refroze.
Oh.
So I went in and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's it. Cause
And
I'm
that's
like,
it. You don't have any more.
well, no, that was it. I only had this one. And I went in to get my blood drawn to make sure everything was good. And my blood couldn't be drawn. So this guy went in and got this lady named Lucy. And Lucy came in and she drew my blood. And she's like, so are you going to, use your last embryo? And I was like, I can't afford it. Like, we saved up for a whole year to do this one transfer and it didn't even work. Mm-hmm. And who's to say that I do everything right and this one doesn't survive on thawing again? Mm-hmm. Like I transferred 2 in. Oh. So 1, I was like, there's no way. And she was like, no, I only save baby makers. And she went to the back and marched me back there and went through the portfolio of that egg and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I just don't know what to do. Like, I have twin babies that I'm buying stuff for. Like we're, it's not like we're, making millions here, just dropping it whenever we want, So she goes, you go downstairs and talk to the financial. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this is going to do. So I go down there and they were like, well, you have spent a lot with us. Mm-hmm. And they're like, and I was like, I just don't want to spend it. Like, I have better chances going to Vegas than, like praying that this egg unthaws perfectly
just
again.
To get to the transfer.
Yeah. Oh. So they're like, we'll just give it to you, this transfer to you. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I have no, like, if they're going to give it to me.
Yeah.
So I went through all the medications and the process to get to that day. And I was so nervous. And then they waited and waited and waited to come in. And I was like, they're trying to figure out how they're going to tell me this didn't unthaw.
Yeah.
And they walked in and I cried. I was like, is everything okay? And they were like, well, we're ready to go. And I'm like, okay. And so couple days later, because you're supposed to wait like 8 days and then go get your blood drawn and it'll show the HCG level and see how high it is. And so I went and got my blood drawn, but then they weren't supposed to call me for like a day or 2 until I got my second blood draw to see if it doubled. And this nurse, the second I got my second blood drawn, was like, Charlie, I'm not supposed to call you, but you're pregnant.
Oh.
And she goes, it's my last day here. And I just wanted to tell you that I never saw her before and I never saw her after that moment. Oh, I swear to you, she came down just to get Eiley down here.
Charlie, don't even start this with me because serious. I am the same way with Bo.
Serious.
In the OR, I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
There are people who come down, have little missions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm into it.
Yeah. Woo! So, I mean, twins, obviously a miracle. And then they were 6'5" and 6'3", like healthy, gosh. Eiley is a miracle. And then when Eiley was 8 months old, I found out I was pregnant with my last Gia out of the blue. She decided to turn to Heavenly Father and be like, peace out, I'm going down.
I don't need help. I got this one.
Yeah.
We're good.
So all of my girls have literally been, a story of God's love for us and his presence and that they needed to come down when they needed to come down,
So how old are they now?
So the twins are 12. They'll be 13 in October.
Oh.
And Eiley is 9. She'll be 10 in July. And Gia just turned 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It goes fast.
This is insane, Charlie.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So.
Wow. Okay. So we have to get into, like I said, obviously we can already tell you are an amazing woman of faith and strength and all of the above.
I don't know about that.
You are. So you're out here, you're living your life. You've got the 4 girls. Mm-hmm. You're married. Great little situation you got here. All of a sudden you decide to pick up tanning, spray tanning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. McKenna. See, I have a problem. So I clearly think I can do whatever I want with my life.
I feel that.
So, I dabble in a little bit of photography. I do a little bit of interior design. And then I really like being tan, clearly from my exotic,
I don't know why you have to keep that up now.
ethnic ways. My friend, my really good friend, she introduced me to spray tanning.
Okay.
And she's like, you got to try this. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of being orange.
Mm-hmm.
And so she did it to me and I was hooked. So then I was like, my husband bought me the tent and all the things for my birthday one year. And he was like, he bought it for me. But it makes me feel so good about myself that I'm like, I have to share this with other people.
Oh my gosh. And you do. Like, it's kind of a word. It's like this underground thing that you do.
Oh my God.
Like, I feel so exclusive knowing that you do it because you're not, I mean, unless I haven't seen, you don't post.
No.
You're not you don't have an Instagram business for it.
No. It's just word of mouth.
Yeah.
And it is truly like, I just like having, I guess what you can call them as creative outlets. Like I love people. I love hearing their stories. I love making them feel good about themselves. And this is one of the ways that I feel like I can do that.
I understand that. Welcome to Munch and Mingle, my creative outlet.
Right. Like we've got to have them.
Yes.
You know, and I know that this makes me feel like when in the beginning of my marriage, I'd come home and be like, and my husband would be like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I just don't know. And he's like, go tanning. I was like, okay.
It really
and I
is
always
a mood
came
booster.
back and I always felt so much better. I don't know, you know.
No, it's true. How we connected. So Meredith, my sister-in-law, tell me if I'm wrong, worked for your husband, Jared.
Yes.
At BYU.
Yes.
So then she had met you. She obviously knew that you spray tanned or you spray tanned her because then September, my mother-in-law found out.
Right.
Also an exotic being with you. Loves her tan. So then that became a thing. And then obviously all the children are like, wait, how is Timber Stain so tan? We had heard. And so we all started coming too. It became a family affair.
See, I told you, word of mouth.
Yes.
Why do you need to advertise?
You don't need anything more than that. So then, so I started getting spray tans from you. And that's where I would start picking up every time we would have our little tan sessions. I would just things we would talk about. But two funny stories. The first one, when I came for my first tan, I was like, okay. I mean, I don't think I had Baker yet, but I had gotten Brazilian waxes. So I'm like, I feel like that pretty much shoots away any dignity that we might have. But I still had to like,
and then you had babies.
Yeah, and then you do have babies. At least in that instance, you're drugged up. It's in the moment. Brazilian waxes, you're going in on your own.
That's true.
Spot.
That is true.
But so I had to kind of like suss you out in the sense I'm like, this could be really weird. Like I'm fine at this point because I don't want lines. So I remember asking you, I was like, Charlie, this might be weird, but do you want me to like keep on like bra or anything? And I remember you just said, why? Like you dress to your comfort. Bodies are bodies. You're a woman. And I just was like, oh, that is so great. Like you are just so normal and real. And I've had friends come to you and they've said the same thing. Like, I was nervous, but she just doesn't make you feel nervous at all. Which one great profession you are in for that. But that's just who you are.
It's not really any training. It's more like I truly believe that. Like your body is your body and all bodies are the same. We all have the same things going on. So it's no big deal, you know?
I just hope I can carry that same essence. Like we're fine. But so the next big one, which was the big one for me, this is what stemmed this whole episode from.
Oh my gosh.
So I just have to share it because again, this is you. So after the whole thing with Bo, Timber had told me, hey, Charlie wants to get a hold of you. She wants to give you a spray tan, after everything. And first off, I was just like, that is the sweetest thing that she would care so much about me in that moment, knowing after this whole ordeal, like, of course, a tan's going to make me feel better in this moment. So 6 weeks, whatever, came by and I reached out to you and you were like, yes, you need to come do a tan. So it was like the first time. And again, you've seen me now, all its glory. And I still was so embarrassed because I was like, I have this scar now, this new thing. I felt like, post-surgery. It's still like bulgy and all that stuff. And I remember I was just almost in tears with you because I was like, I don't know this body anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I've never gone through major surgery. And now it's a physical part of me. And it's already in an area that I'm so uncomfortable about.
Oh, yeah.
And same you, like, it's fine. We're good. But then you went so far as to like, I would say coach, but like teach me in the moment of true love because you got to my level. You had a C-section and I didn't know that. Yeah. Obviously it came too, but you, it's so funny. You showed me your scar and it sounds so funny, but in that moment I was like, I truly am not alone.
No.
And it was like you truly knew
I knew exactly how you felt. Like, this body is not mine anymore. Like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Like, what did I deserve to get here? You know? Like, you do. You learn to appreciate it. You learn to appreciate what your body did for you or does for you. You learn to walk in appreciation of it. You don't feel ashamed of it. You don't feel, it's like, for me, it was like a badge of honor to be able to be like, girl, look.
Yeah.
Like, we got this.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay that we're not the same anymore.
You go on to say, you know, you've lost weight and not that you needed to, but you're at this point now that you have obviously excess skin, anything. And you had said, you know, I've thought about getting a tummy tuck, and whether you do in this life or anyone out there who has that, that's not the point, but it's what you said after that. It's what you wrestle with is what your daughters will see. Yeah. You want them to see a real body. And you told me that same thing. Don't you want your sons to know what a real woman is? And in the sense of like you just said, you work with the body you have and know that it's a gift that you're here regardless. And you're here to raise your family. There's so much more beyond what you look like. Yeah.
I have a very, very, very guilty conscience. I do. I wish that conscience would just go away, but it doesn't. I have to look at everything from all angles. And I still wrestle with the idea of a tummy tuck today. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, I don't think it's something that's going to ever go away from me, you know, as far as like wanting to have the body that I had before. Right. But the biggest thing that I wrestle with is that I have 4 girls, and I need to be proud of the body I have. And I need to be proud. I feel like this is me. And everyone's different. But I need to be proud of what God did for me through this body. And I want my girls to not be afraid to do the same. Like, you know, I just want them to have healthy idea of what our body's expectation should be. Yeah. There shouldn't be an expectation of a body. It should just be appreciated. Like I said, like I've never expected it to look like something else because it's my body, and my body's going to do what it needs to do for its purposes. Yeah. That doesn't mean that like I don't want to lose weight, or that doesn't mean that I don't want to stay in shape. That doesn't mean that, gosh, I don't play around with the extra skin and go away, you know, like move, like get back in there, you know, like it's not that I don't do those kinds of things, or it's not that I don't wrestle with, you know, gosh, if I could like, you know, just set aside a little bit and like maybe at the end of the day, I am my 4 girls' biggest example. And so I have to lean on that for me.
Yeah. It's incredible. Wow. There's just been so much meat from this episode that I'm like, how can you not just feast on this?
No, people that were surrounding me there were some people that were surrounding me when I was young that I felt like had a misconstrued idea of what food was supposed to do for you, you know, and what your body should look like. And I remember just feeling like I never want that to control me, because I watched it control other people around me. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I've been very determined that that's not something that can control me. Well, clearly I'm very determined that nothing and anyone can control me. After this episode, I'm like, wow.
So good.
I keep talking and I'm like, okay.
It's great.
Stop it.
This is good. People need this. And so, I mean, any last message that you have? I mean, obviously I have a pretty steady following of women. Any lasting message that's on your heart right now?
I wish there was like I don't have eloquent words. I wish I had that gift. I don't. Like, I really don't. I just flash people my C-sections and say, look, like.
I think it was so perfect in the moment because I was so broken at that moment. I was just like, I don't even know. And yeah.
When you contacted me, you were like, yeah, you remember when you, and I was like, no, I don't remember that. What did I do?
It's perfect.
Why did I do that?
Like I said, sometimes you're just going by the Spirit.
Gosh.
You didn't know in that moment that was exactly what it was like.
Wow.
Someone else, literally.
I think the message that I have is don't have expectations of making your body be like anyone else's. Yeah. Appreciate your body for what it is and for what it does. And that doesn't mean you can't work towards things, right? Like that doesn't mean that you can't like get in a healthy spot.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you can't, wake up and go walking or running or lifting or whatever it is that you do. You don't just go, I'm fine with where I am. Like Charlie said, just sit on the couch, like she says, be happy, like that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is get yourself in a state of mind of appreciation. Mm-hmm. Don't get yourself in a state of mind of having these expectations because you'll just always be disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. As we're wrapping up, and this is, again, just been such a great episode.
Oh my gosh.
The
tanning lady.
No, it's great. That's title. Where are you now? What is life now for you? What are you doing now? What is in the horizon for you, for your family?
Gosh. I mean, I kind of contemplate a lot of that all the time because, the conscience thing. But
right.
So my girls are very active in sports. Like I said, my dad was a coach.
Yeah.
I kind of follow in his footsteps. I would love to be a coach, but schedules don't allow it at this point in my life. But I do coach my girls' basketball teams. But I'm talking about like if I could. I just love that motivation and that, impacting somebody's life in a whole different way.
Right.
But so right now, like I kind of just dabble because that's all I can do with my girl schedules. They all play sports. My husband works at BYU Athletics. So his schedule is really busy. So a lot of it is driving and
you become really good at chauffeuring. Got it.
Yes. So I am a good chauffeur. Mm-hmm. I tan people on the side.
You do.
I decorate for a home builder. I do one of his parade homes every year. So it's really fun because, part of me is like, I'm never going to be anything like huge, in my life because I've chosen the route of I want to be there for my girls and I want to be a mom. And going through my IVF, I've kind of like, really know that that's what I need to be for them. But I also know that part of me will die if I don't have extra outlets.
Yeah.
So I'll take pictures for people, like I'll just I'll do a lot of little things to fill my cup enough to feel like, hey, I'm doing stuff. I'm getting out there. I'm meeting people. I'm not just a taxi driver.
Right.
So yeah.
Anything, you're not looking to add any more side jobs, outlets?
My husband says no.
Yeah.
I get a little psychotic. I have pulled the reins back quite a bit.
Okay.
As far as I used to do more in-home decorating and like for other people other than the builder, and you know, like, and I had to go, okay, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
I need to have a little bit more peace inside of me when I welcome my kids in the door instead of feeling like a scrambled egg.
Right. That's good. Oh man. Okay. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, I'm thrilled that you were able to do this. It was good for me to reflect on why I am the way I am and who I need to continue to be, because clearly something as small as what I said to you meant something. Then I'm like, wow, like, and I didn't know. Right. Yeah. And that goes to show anybody, like, you never know what you're doing to impact someone's life. So like, be who you are and, you know, appreciate who you are. Yeah. And it'll end up coming around full circle. Yeah.
And I can't wait to see the ripple effect of this episode, because I know it's going to be big.
I know.
Because that is you. Big attitude, but big ripple effect too.
Girl, you know.
All right. And to whoever you are out there listening to this, first off, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this podcast, supporting me and Charlie. And hopefully you took something away from this for you. But until next week, we will see you then. Bye.
Bye.